good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good whatever you are watching from. Welcome back to my channel. And this video is actually like broken up into 2 different days. So this first section, I have decided to pull out this little cubby thing into our little living room. We have 2 living rooms. One is like where our TV is, and then the other is just kind of like, I guess, a sitting room. And I wanted to make a little toy corner for Cece so that while, you know, I'm sitting on the couch or whatever, she can play with some toys. I had a little bit out there for her, but I think I just wanted to make a little space for her. As I brought this out, I had a moment of like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I wasn't even sure if this was going to work in this space. It's not a really big space, and I don't like when there's like tons of furniture and clutter, so I wasn't sure, but it ended up working out. I was really happy with it. So I'm bringing all of her little toys out, and this is literally just right around the corner into the other room, and I had originally put, you know, stuff there on the TV stand for her, but she just usually would just pull them down and then walk away, kind of like what she's doing now, but oh, she's trying to help. Something that Cece loves is reading. She loves books, which, you know, she kind of takes after me in that because I also love reading. I love going to the library, and we have a used bookstore that's close to our house that has a pretty good selection, so I enjoy doing that. I love the smell of books. Oof. If you know, you know. So I'm just doing the finishing touches, you know, making it look all pretty. And we are finished. This was a pretty fast project, so I was pleased. At first, I was a little nervous it was going to take a while, but it turned out great. Okay, so this is the next day. Gotta start my day off with coffee. I got this Keurig when Cece was born because I was like, oh, you know, maybe I'll start making coffee at home because I'll be at home more. And I didn't, and I was just buying Starbucks out all the time. And so I have finally gotten back into making coffee at home. I use this pumpkin spice creamer right now. It's, I think, an almond creamer. It's delicious, getting me into the fall mood. Today was actually a hurricane day, Hurricane Idalia, I think, yes. I just want to make sure I'm saying it the correct way, was coming through, but this was kind of all that we got. The girls were out of school, but it wasn't too bad. After I put Cece down for a nap, I vacuumed. I wanted to mop the floor, so you gotta vacuum it first, because if you don't, then all the little dust particles and whatnot just turns into mud. I don't know. Because we live in Florida, we track in sand from outside. I'm originally from Virginia, so this is a different terrain than I'm used to. There you've got like the red clay, but here, yep, it's just sand everywhere, so our house seems to get messy faster. We used to have a little like robot vacuum that would come out. We named him Lil Sucka, and I was in love with him. I loved it. But after like maybe a couple years, he just started slowing down. He would get lost. He would get stuck, and it was very annoying. So we still have him. He's in a drawer. Maybe I'll take him out one day and see if I can clean him up and bring him back to life. It was very convenient. I did love it because it kind of picked up all of the, you know, little dog hairs and whatnot that collect throughout the day. And so now I just kind of try to do a quick little vacuum each day, at least around the kitchen after we're done with, you know, cooking at the end of the night. So coming up, as you can see, something terrible happens. Boom. My vacuum breaks. And I am in shock. What in the world? So I have to bring out this big boy. We've had this vacuum's for about 10 years now. That's how long we've been married. Our first vacuum, still works like a charm, gotta say. But it is so heavy. I've been using that like stick vacuum for a year now, and boy, oh boy, was I surprised when I pulled this out. I was sweating in no time because this thing is heavy. The cord's everywhere. Yeah. I had to put my back into this because I had some weight to it. But still, still a good vacuum, so at least we have that. Yeah, I don't know if there's one person on the planet who likes to roll up their vacuum cord. I know there's some that slurp it up, but I don't have that. Okay, also, this is an old O-Cedar mop bucket thing. I've seen, I guess it's a newer one, or maybe just like a step up, where you dip the mop into the clean water, so you're never dipping into the dirty water. Well, I do not have that luxury. I mean, I guess I could, but yeah, we dip straight into the dirty water to clean the floors. And I use the Mr. Clean floor cleaner because it smells so good, and I just eyeball it, just do a healthy splash right into the water. Also, I need to get a new one soon because the foot pedal sometimes works and sometimes doesn't, and it gets pretty frustrating when you're trying to spin the mop, but like it's not working. I think it does it like in the beginning of this. Yeah, like I have to lift the mop out. I gotta like slam down on it a couple times and then it works. Oh man, what a mess. So when I mop, I kind of go over the same section in both directions. I feel like it, I don't know, gets all the little crusties off the floor a little bit better than if I just went over it once. I don't know. That's my theory. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Who will ever know? Not me. It's just what I do. Okay, so the big reveal for the water, my daughter helped me film this. You can see her little toes. But you know what? The water was not that dirty. I've definitely poured out dirtier water, so I feel like that's a win. R.I.P. R.I.P. So for lunch, we did a quick little Arby's stop. And look at this perfect curly fry. Wow, what a masterpiece. And then we came across this quarter and they gave him a mullet, or maybe maybe that's a braid. I don't know. I thought it was funny. And we went to Target because guess what? We're getting a new vacuum. We were stuck between this Dyson and the Shark. And it's funny because I just commented the other day about Dysons. Like, they're $1 billion. But this one in particular was $300. Still a lot, but this Shark I think was $250. So we put it in our cart. We walk around Target and we realize it only comes with like the pointy like attachment. And I actually used the brush attachment more. And the Dyson had the brush attachment. So we ended up getting it. What a treat. What a treat. So this was the afternoon. The rain has gone away. It's still a little windy, but it was turning out to be a really pretty afternoon. While the girls were playing with some little neighbor friends, we started dinner, and yes, those are not my hands. Those are my husband's hands, because I've commented in a video before, I do not enjoy cooking, and my husband is the cook of the house. And so tonight we decided to eat something a little more fresh after lunch today. Our stomachs were not very happy after we ate lunch. So we wanted to bring something fresh to the table tonight. So we had some fruit in the fridge, and so we made a fruit salad, and it was so delicious. That's a white nectarine, my favorite fruit next to watermelon. They are so sweet. That one was kind of on its way out, so we didn't use the whole thing. And then I keep saying he drizzled honey on it at the end. One of our girls said it tastes like medicine, but it didn't. It made it sweet and yummy and delicious. So next on the menu was roasted carrots. Would that be counted as roasted? I feel like that's putting it in the oven. Whatever. We're cooking up some carrots. He is cooking up some carrots with some onions, and they turn out to be soft and delicious. Those look like meatballs from afar, but they are little teensy potatoes, and man, oh man, were they delicious. So we had like one leftover chicken breast that we had from the night before, and he decided to whip up a little chicken Caesar salad wrap with some hummus and avocado, and it was so tasty. And I feel like every time we eat dinner, I'm like, man, this is why I don't cook, because this is delicious. He has a gift of going into the fridge, picking out random ingredients. Well, I guess these aren't random, but picking out, what we have and making something really, really good. And it brings him joy, it brings him life. So that's why he kind of takes over that, because it does the opposite for me. I get like, I can't even find words for it because I don't like it. So good. Now that is a fresh little dinner. Now for the kids, we ended up just making quesadillas for them, little cheese quesadillas. I think we had like 2 more little tortillas. We had 2 different kinds of tortillas. The tortillas we're eating with the wrap kind of are like taste like more of a homemade tortilla, and the other ones were just like the teensy little like taco tortillas. They like the small ones, and it does the job. Now dinner is over. Yeah, I'm not going to show us eating because I feel like that's kind of weird. So it is the after dinner cleanup. He usually does the cooking and I'll do the cleaning. That's just how we have worked it out in our lives, and it works great. So this little one was not a fan of dinner, so she is rummaging right now through the cabinets and has decided to make a little cup of noodles, because I told her, girl, we're not cooking anything else. So she is kind of boiling her own water, and well, I kind of am facilitating it, but yeah, so she's gonna have a cup of noodles, and that's just how it goes. I really enjoy doing the dishes. I don't mind doing them. Laundry is a no-go for me, but dishes, I enjoy it. Maybe it's because I'm like, I don't have to move around a lot. Well, I definitely like loading the dishwasher more because I'm literally standing in one spot. But yeah, I have a certain way of loading it. There's sometimes we'll have people over and they're like, oh, let me help you. And I'm like, honestly, like, you're good. Just stand at the counter and give me moral support. But I load it a certain way. When Anthony loads it, I have learned to just keep my mouth shut because, like, it's getting done, so why would I complain? But it's interesting to see how different we do it. And I think everyone has their own way of loading the dishwasher. Usually we have Cece running around and during this time, and it can be difficult because she'll pull the dishes out and, throw them to the ground. But I kept her in her high chair while I was doing this. Sometimes I'll do that and see how long she'll sit in her high chair. And tonight was pretty successful. She was in there for a while, which was honestly very helpful. After I do the dishes, I will give the sink a little wipe down. Sometimes I will spray it with Lysol, sometimes I won't. Tonight I do because, to be honest with you, because I was filming, I wanted to go the extra mile. I'm just being honest. So I get my Lysol spray and I will spray it down and I'll let it sit because the longer it sits, it'll sanitize it and stuff. I never knew that. With sprays, I would just spray it and then immediately wipe it. But when you read the directions, it'll tell you, like, let it sit for 10 seconds and it will sanitize, and let it sit for 30 seconds and it'll disinfect. I might have gotten that wrong, but yeah, there's little instructions. Who knew? So we're going to get it nice and clean. And then I realized that I didn't clean the air fryer, and I had just cleaned out the sink. And I was like, I got to clean one more thing of dishes. That's just how it goes. Oh well. I finally freed Cece and she immediately goes to the pantry. And if you can, you can see, we've got like a baby gate that's standing up inside of it to kind of keep her from it. She has learned how to rip it open now. They have little things on Amazon where you can put on top of like that accordion door where you can't open it. I need to get that because she will go into the pantry, pull out whatever. She hasn't done this in a while, but there was like a week where she was pulling out like chip bags or like graham crackers, animal crackers, and literally dumping them on the floor. So, yep, life with a toddler. My Dyson. Guys, I love this thing. I've only, used it a couple times so far, but you can really tell the difference. It feels sturdy. The suction is good. I am so excited to clean my floor. Yep, you are old when, I'm not old, but you are a grown up, a big girl when you get excited about a vacuum cleaner. This was the last thing I cleaned for the day. I just cleaned off the kitchen table. Usually I would have the girls help me because a lot of the stuff is theirs, but they were outside and it was just easier this way for me to get it done. And after I'm finished with this, bedtime for Cece, and then I head out to go for a little run. Guys, though, immediately I regretted it because it was so hot. I was struggling, but look at this view. Isn't that beautiful? Wow. Who could complain? And to finish off the night, I made myself a cup of tea. And while that's boiling, let me show you the protein powder I used. It tastes like Fruity Pebbles. It's delicious. It's like cereal milk. Yep, there it goes. The screaming tea kettle. Had to turn it off quick so it doesn't wake the girls up. Well, wowie, what a full day that was. Full 2 days, actually. Thank you for joining me, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you all. Until next time, bye.